Hello and welcome back to the Taiko World Cup recaps. This week we will be talking about the quarterfinals, and it was actually quite a good quarterfinals, I have to say. With us this week is Tasha. How are you, man?
Not too bad.
We also have Gizo. How are you doing?
Pretty well.
And we have Nashman.
Hello.
So yes, it was actually quite an eventful weekend. What do you guys think?
I think that the United States is a way of trolling most people that are watching the stream, because that's the second time in a row they've gotten Darude Sandstorm as a warm-up.
Yes, they
This is,
seem to be
pretty
a
brilliant.
crowd favorite.
As for the matches themselves, it was a little bit stompy during the losers bracket, but as we got into the winners bracket matches, we start seeing a lot closer matches, like United States versus France being the only one that got to the breaker. We'll talk about that a little bit later, though.
So yes, speaking of results, on Saturday we had the loser bracket matches. Finland beat Ukraine 5-0, and Poland defeated Philippines 5-0 as well. After that we had Argentina versus Spain, with Argentina winning 5-1, and then Canada defeating Indonesia 5-0. Which actually means that Ukraine, Philippines, Spain, and Indonesia are now actually out of the competition. The following day on the Sunday we had Hong Kong versus Japan, with Japan winning 5-2. Then South Korea versus China, with South Korea winning 5-1. Followed by Taiwan versus Germany, with Taiwan taking 5-2. Followed by probably the match of the weekend, which was France versus United States, which was actually 5-4. I have to say, that was probably one of the best matches we've seen so far.
Out of all the ones that we have seen, like including group stage and round of 16, that was probably the most entertaining one to watch and probably the most hyped. Anyone that was in Twitch chat during that match can probably attest to that one.
Gizo and Nashman, how did you feel going into the United States versus France game?
It was very stressing match. Like we when we were going to lose, because United States was going to win. They were 4-3 or 4-2. I don't remember exactly. And that comeback was really stressful for all of us. So yeah, it was an intense match. But I guess I can speak for all the teammates here for France, but I guess we all liked it a lot.
Was there
Yeah,
any
what about-
particular maps that you thought were like really dangerous picks that the United States picked against you guys?
The hidden pick. We were sure that they were going to win those, so we tried to ban the most hidden pick we could, but they totally beat us on that hidden pick.
That was on Nihilism, was it not?
Chaos Japan, I think, actually.
The Chaos Japan was a Hard Rock pick.
I'm looking at the wrong picks. My bad.
But yeah, I did notice that was the biggest score gap out of all the matches that were played there. I did notice that most of them were very close, only like less than 20,000 point difference between the two teams, which is very low.
Yeah, they were consistent. We didn't know that they were going to be that consistent. They FC'd almost everything. So yeah, that was a great match.
The entire match was just... I couldn't not look at it. It was too intense.
Yeah, I know that Zetrot's not here right now, but I know that for Zetrot during the tiebreaker, he was just going nuts during that. Like, you could hear him basically like so sad when he noticed that the United States was losing.
Yes, he did seem a bit upset by that. How did you feel about the match, Gizo?
Pretty stressful because most of the wins were because of accuracy.
Yes, your team was very accurate through a lot of these wins, actually.
Kodoku egoism was 100. I was pretty sad by that score because I could definitely get SS.
Yeah, in fact, your entire team had like 5 100s between the three of you, which is really impressive.
And Kamui was pretty shameful because we all could get a full combo, but it was really bad misses.
Yeah, sometimes a
On
lot
the
of those like
following on the following map, we could have definitely won Jagon on school like something.
The subplayed map. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't worry, none of us can pronounce it either. It's okay.
Because
oh yeah, the
we got
Grum's map.
double SS, but one miss from Flo completely broke the win.
Yeah, that was a really close match. Like, as both holding double S the entire way through was really impressive. I was really, really sad for you guys there because, like, I thought you guys had it, and then just right, like, 3/4 the way through the song, there was just a random miss from Omega. Oh boy, that's definitely not looking good.
I nearly cried.
And he was really sad.
I mean, that had
Oh,
to be scary because, like, that was when it was 4-3 for the United States. So, like, if you guys didn't win the pick on Ernst, you guys would have been knocked out, like, down to losers bracket, which would have been really unfortunate.
Yeah, especially when we're like assessing this map, and when I finished it, I was like, we are going to win this, and I saw blue team won, and I was like, why?
Best
it was actually a
was
pretty.
tiebreakers.
So,
It was
again,
actually a
We
sorry?
pretty.
were like, go on.
I was gonna say it was actually a pretty convincing win on Ernst. It was like 200,000 points.
Yeah, actually, that wasn't. We didn't expect to win this one. Well, we wanted to, but we thought that all the United States player were going to full combo it. It was really really stressful, but at the end we all full combo United States missed. So yeah, that was a lucky one actually.
Yeah, all three players on that ended up actually missing. So
Yeah.
like, it ended up being really, really close. Just like, I mean, like I said, it was the only match that even went to a tiebreak. And the tiebreak was just going back and forth for a while there, too. Like, the United States was in the lead, then you guys were, then it went back to the United States like halfway through the song. It was intense.
But it was fun because before playing the tiebreaker, I had a 2.3 million score. We were all like, who's gonna play it? I was like, YOLO.
You ended up getting a really big score increase. Was that a new record for you?
Yes, it was a completely new record because it was a second clear.
Yeah, so that was like a 2.9 million score. You had 9 misses there. That was really good. Like, you had 44 100s and only 9 misses on a map that difficult. Yeah,
It actually got him to
I'd
rank
definitely
31.
be proud of that score.
It actually gave him rank 31 on the map as well.
I actually did want to make a mention about the tiebreak, just between Nashman and Flanks. Like throughout the entirety of the tiebreak, up to like 1,800 combo, you guys were both holding like full combos. Flanks ended up dropping a little bit before Nashman, but Nashman was the only player to be so close to getting that full combo. He just got one drop.
Yeah, I saw that Flanks was going to FC actually. When I looked on the score, it was at 1,800 combo. I was like, oh my god, he's going to FC. And I missed on a really, really easy pattern. So at that time, at that point of the map, I thought that USA has got it in the bag, but we won. So yeah, that was a great match, great tiebreaker also. So pretty happy about it.
In
Yeah,
the
I
end,
bet.
it's because the two other players got worse score than us.
yeah, I did notice that.
2.8 and 2.7 million.
Yeah, despite Flanks doing really good on score because his accuracy was amazing despite his misses. Um, you guys were overall more consistent as a team from the looks of it, so you guys got the win there, which was really nice.
I think that was like
Yeah,
one of the only
I got to
games that I didn't actually know who was gonna win. It just seemed like it was one of those matches where it was close the entire way through.
Yeah, to begin with, I thought that it was going to be France, but I guess the United States is overall stronger than I thought they were. I knew they had flanks, but I didn't really know how strong the other players were. I knew Two Fruitcakes was pretty good. I knew Goat Life was pretty. Didn't know they were good enough that they could keep up like that. So it was definitely really impressive to watch.
Should we move on to the map picks?
I was actually gonna like maybe discuss a little bit about the Germany versus Taiwan match, if that was okay.
Oh, yeah, sure, go for it.
Yeah, so for like the Germany versus Taiwan match, that was really really interesting because like a lot of those matches were closer than I had originally predicted. I'll be honest, I originally thought that it was going to be like 5-1 for Taiwan or even a complete stomp 5-0, just because I consider them to be having really strong players like Ishida, for example. But Germany played really well, and despite it being 5-2 in the end, Germany like was really close on a lot of those matches. Like they could have won a lot more than they did there. They could have probably taken that tiebreaker if they had been a bit more consistent. I know Nashman also saw this match, so I wanted to get a little bit of his input on it.
Yeah, I feel pretty much the same because for me, Taiwan is like the strongest team this year with Japan, and Germany has a lot of good players like Mew and Luna, but really I really thought that Taiwan was going to win easily, and I'm happy that they didn't because actually the match was greater than I thought, so it was good to see.
Yeah, and it's definitely more interesting to watch matches that aren't complete stomps. And then
Yeah.
the only other match that was probably worth talking about, just because the rest of them were pretty stompy, was Hong Kong versus Japan. And I thought this one was pretty interesting because when we were going into it, a lot of people considered Japan to be the team to beat this year. There's no real denying that. So when Hong Kong went versus them, I honestly thought again it was going to be a stomp. It was going to be like 5-0. Despite Hong Kong having very good players, I figured Japan would be the more consistent team and just accuracy. However, something pretty interesting about what happened this week was some of the best players on Japan, specifically like Sobatsu 100, had a lot of issues keeping consistency. Like there was a lot of misses that were happening, and I was a little bit surprised by that. I don't know what you think about that, Nashman or Gezo, but it was just to me that was really surprising.
Yeah, Soba to you did not a great performance that match. I thought he was going to assess everything because he is really one of the best player, and he missed on almost every map. So Hong Kong could have won this one, I think, but they were too inconsistent on some critical maps. So actually, it was way closer than we could thought.
Yeah, I definitely agree there. Okay, so we're gonna kind of wrap up the matches that we were discussing there, and we're gonna talk about the map picks really quick. So the most commonly picked maps, the top three, were Kodoko Egoism, which was a free mod pick, Jeg Ontrik Skadeg, which was the second free mod pick, and then Ernst, which was the no mod pick. So those were the top three. I wanted to get your guys' input on those three maps in particular, on why you think they might have been the top three maps, and what you think was a reason that they were picked so often, especially Kodoku Egoism, as that was picked all
One
times
more,
throughout the entire pool.
one more. Hoshi.
I think that they were picked a lot because these were actually pretty easy maps to get good accuracy on hard rock or even hidden. So the strongest team, like Japan, wanted to pick it, win with their incredible accuracy. And I think that the lowest ranked team wanted to pick them because they thought they could FC, and maybe the strongest team could have an unfortunate miss on it. So I guess that's why they were picked so often.
It does look
All right,
like
and
it has about an average accuracy. I think it's for like 5 or 6 or something like that.
yeah, a lot of the free mod picks ended up having like overall difficulty 5, so they weren't too hard to pick with hard rock, for example. So they ended up being pretty even. I do know that some of the maps ended up having a bit of an advantage for hard rock just because of spinners, which, as we've already mentioned before, give a bit of a score bonus over hidden if they're played perfectly. Now, for me, there was some pretty interesting picks that were not picked. Now, the first one, I actually predicted this, was Hades in the Heaven, which was a hidden pick, and it wasn't picked at all throughout the entire tournament. Another one was Togenkyo Alien, which also wasn't picked. And then there was a three-way tie between Rondo Alaturka, Aono Senritsu, and Kovaldis. Actually, four-way, FI as well. So there was one from every bracket other than free mod. For the two that weren't picked, why do you think that was?
For the hidden pick, it's because
It's
it's too
simple.
difficult.
It's almost unreadable at some points. It's like a flashlight, but in the opposite.
I
Yeah,
think
definitely plays like Flashlight on that one.
I seem to recall like Ono being so excited to see Hades get picked, and then it never did. I think it was actually one of the most
Yeah.
banned maps.
I think it was banned at every match.
And Togenkyo was because IOD, it's 7 with hard mode, so it's 9.8 with hard mode, which is pretty painful to play.
I can imagine.
Yeah, that map was probably the hardest one to play accurately on. I can attest to that. I was a little bit afraid that people would pick that. I think we ended up banning it. I don't remember it anymore, but I
Yeah.
know a lot of teams were afraid of picking that. Some banned it, some
Well,
left it open.
Actually, we planned to pick it, but the USA just banned it, so we couldn't play it.
there is no SS play on hard work on this map.
Oh, wow.
The closest is so bad to you with one hard way.
Nonetheless, that's still really impressive. All right, so I believe that wraps up our map picks there. So just a bit of a closing, I guess, or what are we gonna do here?
I actually just noticed that you have rank 20 on the map with Hard Rock.
Which
Well played,
one of
Tasha.
us?
The two
Oh, I do?
Genkyu and Alien.
Well then, there you go.
So yeah, it looks like we'll quickly go over what happens next, this upcoming weekend. So we will have Poland versus Hong Kong on Saturday the 28th at 12 p.m. UTC. Then we'll have Argentina versus China at 2 p.m. Canada versus Germany at 4 p.m. and Finland versus United States at 6 p.m. So those four are definite because they are the definite loser bracket encounters. The Sunday is rather complicated. Japan and Taiwan are fixed at 7 a.m. and South Korea and France are fixed at 9 a.m. However, the other matches aren't actually they don't have a definite time as their opponents aren't exactly known yet. So there is about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 matches listed, depending on how the Saturday matches go.
Yeah, so for those matches, if you are interested in knowing how that's going to work out, you can take a look at the wiki, which can be located in the tournament thread. You can just find that on the forums if you're not sure how to find it. We'll probably include it in the recaps description so you guys can find it easier. Basically, any of the matches that are listed in red are potential matches that are decided based on how the winners bracket teams perform. So we won't know definitely won't know what teams are playing which other teams in the losers bracket until we actually have those results. But we should know after Saturday, if I believe, or if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so once the Saturday matches are done, the wiki will be updated with the correct Sunday matches. So I won't list out all 8 matches as most of them are useless, but after the Saturday matches, you should definitely check out the wiki, which we will link, and that will give you all the match information. Actually, I just want to quickly try one new thing. Gizo Nashman, what do you think about the upcoming matches? Which do you think will be the ones to look out for?
Definitely the match of the weekend will be Japan versus because they are the two strongest team of this tournament right now. So this could be a pretty great and pretty close match. Maybe even goes to the tiebreaker. So definitely Japan versus Taiwan.
Well, I concur with Nash. It's pretty much the two only countries that won the Taiko World Cup since 2011. And every big player of these countries are participating. The one hand in Japan, Sobatsuyu, Tetsuke, and Kodmo. On the other hand, in Taiwan, Ishida and ZX Baka are pretty strong players.
Yeah, they're all really strong players. I'm honestly, I don't think that many teams can actually compete against those teams right now. They're just kind of on a level of their own.
I'm actually kind of looking forward to Canada versus Germany, to be honest. I reckon that's going to be a pretty close game.
I'm a little
I'm actually,
biased because I don't really want to see that match just right now because I'm a little bit afraid of it. But we'll have to see.
I kind of want to see it because this will hopefully be the first time we've actually seen Canada with its full lineup.
Yeah, for this Taiko World Cup, it should be our top 3 this time because Janitor is back from his extended vacation. One of the ones I'm interested in, just be a little bit different here. There's 2 of them actually. I'm interested in South Korea versus France because South Korea has been proving that they're actually playing quite well. And I'm also interested in Argentina versus China. Now, that one's a little bit different because I'm mostly interested in how Argentina is going to play. I've seen them performing very well compared to what I'd seen them perform at before. So I'm interested to see just how far they can go. Maybe they can even beat China.
Yeah, are you guys, Gizo and Nashman, are you ready to go up against South Korea? Do you think you can win?
Of course.
Yeah.
But
I'll be cheering.
it will be a close match because Korea actually is stronger than we thought. I don't want to sound arrogant. First, we thought that Korea wasn't that strong, but when we see how they play since they finished the group stage, they play really well. So it will be a close match. But definitely we can win this, and we will try our best.
I'm really looking forward to it. Tasha, anything else you want to say?
I think this book covers it.
Alright, well, that about wraps it up for this week's recap. I hope you all enjoyed this week's weekend, and thank you very much to our guests for coming out.
Thanks.
Thanks.
So yes, we will see you next week, and have a good weekend.
And remember, rhythm is just a click away.
And we'll see you real soon.